You're probably staring at a shelf of laser levels, wondering which one will actually make the job easier instead of just gathering dust. It's frustrating to spend hard-earned cash on a tool that sounds perfect on paper, only to discover it can't hold a straight line on a windy day or dies after a couple of jobs. I get that hesitation, especially when you're juggling a budget and a deadline. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Topcon Class 1 2.4 mW RL HV2S is marketed as a self-leveling grade laser kit with a rugged, lightweight body and a rechargeable NiMH battery. At first glance it checks a lot of boxes that professionals and serious DIYers look for: a Class 1 safety rating, the ability to project both single and dual slope lines, and a self-leveling mechanism that promises to stay within 2 mm over a 10 m span. Those are the headlines that catch the eye, but the real question is whether the kit delivers when you set it up on a job site, a concrete slab, or a backyard deck. Let's break down where this laser really shines. First, the self-leveling feature is genuinely useful when you're working on uneven terrain. I've seen a lot of cheaper lasers that need you to manually level the unit, which can take minutes and introduces human error. With the Topcon, you just place it on a tripod, press the start button, and the internal pendulum does the rest. In a real-world scenario, say, you're grading a driveway for proper drainage, the laser stays level while you walk around the perimeter, and the dual slope mode projects two intersecting lines that show you the exact slope you need to maintain. That saves you from pulling out a separate line laser or a water level kit, which many contractors still rely on. The battery system is another practical point. The included NiMH pack can run the laser for roughly 30 hours of continuous use, according to the manufacturer's specs, which translates into several full days on a typical job where you run it a few hours each day. Because it's rechargeable, you avoid the recurring cost of disposable batteries, and the pack fits snugly into the handle, keeping the overall weight down. I've noticed that on jobs where power outlets are scarce, like a rural construction site, the ability to swap in a spare pack and keep working is a genuine advantage. Now, who should actually consider buying this kit? If you're a professional contractor, a landscaper, or a serious hobbyist who regularly does concrete work, grading, or foundation layout, the Topcon gives you a reliable reference line that meets industry safety standards. The Class 1 rating means the beam is eye-safe, which is a non-negotiable factor when you have crew members moving around the work zone. The dual slope capability is especially handy for drainage projects, retaining walls, and any application where you need to maintain a precise grade over a distance. Also, if you already own a decent tripod and are looking to upgrade just the laser head, the kit's lightweight design means you won't have to invest in a bulkier mounting system. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to walk away. If you only need a level line for occasional indoor projects like hanging pictures or aligning shelves, the price point of this Topcon model may be overkill. The same self-leveling mechanism is available in less expensive models that only project a single line, which would be sufficient for interior use. Additionally, the kit does not include a built-in detector, so you'll need a separate staff or detector if you want to locate the beam from a distance, especially in bright sunlight. For a casual homeowner who's not comfortable setting up a tripod and interpreting slope lines, that extra step could become a hassle. Let's talk about the practical weaknesses that become apparent after the first few uses. The laser housing, while marketed as rugged, is made of a high-impact polymer that can scratch if you drop the unit onto a concrete slab. The scratch doesn't affect the beam itself, but it can be unsightly and may reduce resale value. Also, the self-leveling motor is quiet, but it does emit a faint hum that can be heard if you're standing right next to the laser for a prolonged period, something to keep in mind if you're working in a noise-sensitive environment like a library renovation. Another subtle trade-off is the beam visibility in full daylight. A 2.4 mW Class 1 laser is safe, but it's also less bright than the higher-powered Class 2 or Class 3 are units that some contractors prefer for outdoor use on very sunny days. In practice, you'll need a detector or a darker background to see the line clearly at the far end of a long stretch. That's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you have to plan for a detector or limit your work to overcast conditions if you're relying solely on visual confirmation. The overall value of the Topcon HV2S comes down to how you weigh those strengths against the compromises. The 4.4-star rating from over 600 reviewers suggests that most users find the laser reliable and accurate for its intended